Suppose one very random day you decide to go for a drive. You are out there on the road with your car, windows open, cold breeze blowing in, radio on. You're listening and tuning with the song, chilling and driving with an average speed. But the very next moment, you realize there is another car with a great speed approaching towards you, and suddenly that's how uncertain, unpredictable our lives are. Even there are many organized people with 10 or 20 years of future plans in their mind. No one really knows what lies in the very next moment for them, what plans their destiny has for them. Well, first of all, I would really apologize for starting this talk on a negative note, but I can assure you that it won't be the same by the time we will reach to the conclusions. With this, I also welcome you to the fourth episode of Candid Batchit. I'm going to share my stories and my experiences about the uncertainties of life, where I failed, and what did I learn during the process. Yes, we are going to talk about why life is so uncertain for today. We all become aware of the fact that our future is unpredictable since the very first time we gain sense. What we all still do is that we start dreaming and hoping for a better future. There's nothing wrong in this concept, this process, or you can say this way of living. Wrong is when we get so immersed in this process of making a better future for us that we forget to live the present. There lies nothing new in whatever I said, but by the time when we mostly people realize it, we become too old. 2 years back, 2019, things were going all good. Everything was on track. Then, 2020, and things started falling off track. I know I wasn't the only one to experience it, but then, as they say, it fails when it happens to you. After all, everyone is the center of the life play for themselves. Leaving aside the stupid mess of my life, I went through some real issues. My dad was undergoing through some serious health issues. Till date, I don't feel comfortable to open up about it, open up about the scenario, the atmosphere back at that time in my house. But to say it was terrible. I'm grateful though that now things are okay, but this is not where I learned the lesson. You all know this COVID took away lakhs of lives. When we see it, it feels like a number and won't affect us much. But then when you encounter it, I wish you don't, but when you encounter it, even one death around you, then at that moment you realize the terror hidden. You feel the pain. Something similar happened with me. I heard about the death news of few people who were around me. Those whom I saw just few days back, smiling, laughing, dreaming, and hoping for the future. It was hard to believe they were no more. Before this, I had never experienced death so closely. I was aware of the concept of life and death, but I never knew how it feels after losing someone forever. It affected me a lot, a lot. Took away the peace of my mind, my calmness, and much more. I knew I was lost and seeking for positive vibes, positive energy. But then this COVID era seemed as if designed to test us in every possible manner, be it physically or emotionally. This was the time when I got to know about the uncertainty in life. I realized it. You know what? I started actually cursing it. Cursing it and thinking so much about it to such an extent that I almost became incapable of dreaming and hoping for something good in future. The fear of future was not letting me leave my present. And so was the time. The news of death and sorrows every time triggered me. Fortunately, one very random day, I found a book lying deep inside a box while cleaning at my home. The cover said, "How to Stop Worrying and Start Living." It was by Dale Carnegie. To confess honestly, before this, the only books mostly I read and completed were romantic novels, which was again for the sake of hoping to find someone like in those stories in my future. I never thought I would be able to complete a motivational or an inspiring kind of book since it seemed boring to me. But believe me, this book had immense self healing power. It gave me all those positive life lessons which I was in need of at that time. Hey, I don't recommend any one of you to mandatorily go through it because what I believe is that everyone has got their own way to heal and deal with obstacles in life. It can be anything: music, painting, movies, any stuff in the entire world which gives you happiness. But what I also believe is that a good and positive talk, kind words, and dedicated conversation helps everyone. Coming back to the lessons I learned from the book. Well, this book had nothing to do with the uncertainties of life. Instead, it was meant to help people in case they were worried. Still, it helped since at that point of time I was worried and worried because of uncertainties, unpredictability of life. The first few lessons fitted so well as a solution to my hurdles, my difficulties. It said, "Don't stew about the future. Just live each day until bedtime. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can possibly happen? Prepare yourself mentally then to accept the worst if necessary. Then calmly leave the present and try to improve it in order to build a better future without bothering about the worst which you have already mentally agreed to accept." I found it practical, helpful, and unique just because, not like other quotes or book, it told me to live a dreamy life and expecting for good to happen on its own by simply hearing to some positive stuff. It made me think of the worst, which was about to happen in future already. And nothing was wrong with it because it made me mentally prepared. There were examples to it as well. So, overall, this was the tiny first step where it helped me, first of all, to gain a positive approach towards life once again. Yes, a positive approach towards understanding something which has no existence in the present date for me, for you, for all of us. Guys, uncertainty in life often feels like the greatest hurdle to our happiness, but it is actually a huge blessing. We just need a better understanding of its nature and how to move through it. You don't need to love the angst of uncertainty, but the fear and anxiety don't have to stop you from going after what you want in life. Recognize that those emotions are there. Take a deep breath and go for it anyway. Begin to contemplate that the butterflies in your stomach are more than just discomfort. They are life's way of telling you something exciting and unpredictable is unfolding. Without it, there would be very little to look forward to. If we can begin to embrace it just a little, our life can take on a whole new meaning. You know what the truth is? Bitter truth or sweet truth? After hearing all this, no uncertainty is equal to boring life. Though I was finding a positive approach towards this concept, fortunately, I also figured out few ways to deal with it. Let me share those stuffs with you as well. I hope I'm not making you feel bored. So, yeah, become a feeling observer. It isn't the uncertainty that bothers me, it's my tendency to get lost in my feelings about it. I can't possibly predict the future, but I can help create it by fostering positive feelings about the possibilities. Secondly, get confident about your coping and adapting skills. This isn't the same as like expecting the worst and mentally making yourself prepared for it. It's more about assuring yourself. It's more about assuring yourself that you can handle any difficulty that might come your way. Good luck from my side as well. Thirdly, replace expectations with plans. Instead of expecting the future to give you something specific, focus on what you will do to create what you want to experience. Okay, I'm not going to make you feel bored anymore. With this, I'll put an end to it. Hey, but if you are still here listening to my words, thank you. Thank you for giving your time, lending your ears, and listening to me wholeheartedly. We will meet soon. Till that, take care, stay happy, and stay positive.